Picture this, you walk half a mile down a country lane and vanish into thin air. Gone. That's exactly what happened to 6-year-old Mary Boyle back in 1977. One second she's heading home. The next, it's like she got erased. And here's the kicker, she's Ireland's youngest missing person, and after nearly 50 years, not a single trace of her has ever been found. Zero, nada, just silence. Alright, roll call. First up, Mary Boyle, 6 years old, the smallest kid in her family and a twin. Bright, playful, the kind of child who'd light up a room without even trying. She's from Kinkeslug in County Donegal. And yeah, she's basically the main character in Ireland's longest running mystery. Then we've got Uncle Jerry. He's the last person to see Mary alive. He's walking with her that day, carrying a ladder like some kind of casual side quest. And spoiler alert, he passed away in 2023, which means if he knew anything, it went with him. Next, Anne Boyle, Mary's twin sister. She was 6 back then, just like Mary. She grew up, went to school, lived a life, while her twin just froze in time. Imagine carrying that. It's like losing your shadow, but the sun never sets. And finally, Mary's mom, Anne, a mother who never stopped searching. Imagine living decade after decade still waiting for your little girl to walk back through the door. That's her reality. And yeah, it's heartbreaking. So it's St. Patrick's Weekend 1977. Everyone's at the grandparents' house in Cashellard, County Donegal. The vibe, pure countryside. Family full after dinner, kids running around, bogs and fields stretching forever. You'd think nothing bad could happen in a place like this. It's like the safest postcard Ireland could ever sell. But here's where the story zooms in. Little Mary decides to head out with her Uncle Jerry. He's hauling a ladder down a country lane to a neighbor's place. And yeah, that's it, no drama, just a guy with a ladder. Mary follows along, little legs trying to keep up. Halfway there, they hit a swampy bit of ground, waterlogged and tricky. Mary's 6, it's too much for her, so she decides, nah, I'll turn back. And that's the moment. That's the fork in the road. Because from here on out, Mary is never seen again. So here's where it gets spooky. Mary's only halfway down the lane with Uncle Jerry, right? He keeps going with the ladder and she turns back. Easy. It's literally a half-mile walk back to her grandparents' house. 5 minutes tops. But here's the thing, Mary never makes it. Somewhere between that swampy patch and the family home, she just disappears. Poof. No screams, no struggle anyone heard, no clue. 1 second she's toddling back, the next she's gone like she walked off the edge of the earth. And don't forget, this is rural Donegal in the 70s. Everybody knows everybody. If a strange car drove by, people noticed. If a neighbor blinked funny, people noticed. And yet, when it came to Mary, the lane was apparently empty. Nobody saw a thing. Which, let's be real, in a tiny Irish village, that's suspicious as hell. So Mary doesn't come back and the alarm bells go off. The whole place erupts into action. Family, neighbors, the guards, everyone hits the bogs, fields and back roads looking for her. And when I say search, I mean search. We're talking soldiers from the defense forces, divers pulling on wetsuits, dogs sniffing every inch of the countryside. They even drained parts of the bogs and combed the lakes. For days, they turned Donegal upside down. Helicopters overhead, search lines across fields, people shouting her name until they lost their voices. And guess what they found? Nothing. Not a shoe, not a ribbon, not even a footprint that made sense. It's like the ground just opened up and swallowed her. And here's the weirdest part, searches that big usually turn up something, even if it's unrelated. But this one, absolute zero. Mary was gone without a trace, and in a case like this, no trace is sometimes the scariest clue of all. So here's where the rumors start flying. Somebody swears they saw a red car near the lane that day. You know how it goes, small towns, everyone clings to any detail that might matter. A red car near a missing child? That's suspicious, right? Well, not so fast. The guy later backtracks, says it might not have been that day, or maybe it wasn't connected at all, which basically means, yeah, useless. Classic case of, I saw something, oh wait, I didn't. And look, in Ireland in the 70s, a red car wasn't exactly blending in. That thing would have stood out like a disco ball in a church. If it really was there, more people should have noticed. But nope, no one else confirmed it. So the big lead turns into a dead end, just a ghost story with wheels. And that leaves us right back where we started Mary Gone and nobody admitting they saw a thing. So years pass and Mary's case is still ice cold. Then people start whispering the name Robert Black. If you don't know him, he was a Scottish truck driver and one of the Uck's most notorious child killers. And yeah, he was active around the 70s and 80s. The theory goes like this: Black drove delivery routes all over Ireland, and Donegal could have been on his path. So maybe, just maybe, he snatched Mary that day. On paper, it kind of fits. Wrong place, wrong time, creepy guy with a van. But here's the problem: there's no actual evidence. No witnesses saw him there. No proof he was even in Donegal that weekend. It's basically a convenient theory people throw in when the local leads dry up. And honestly, it's almost too convenient. Blame the monster trucker from abroad, wash the slate clean, and avoid looking too closely at your own neighbors. Which makes you wonder, did people grab onto Robert Black just because the truth at home was harder to face? So fast forward a few years, the case is stone cold. People are restless and finally, something happens. A man actually gets arrested in connection with Mary's disappearance. For a moment, it feels like Donegal might finally get answers. Neighbors are buzzing, the media jumps on it, and everyone's thinking this is it. But here's the kicker: it collapses almost immediately. The guards release him without charge. Why? No evidence, zero, nothing that would hold up in court, and just like that, the one spark of progress fizzles out. And look, when someone's arrested in a small Irish community, it doesn't just vanish from memory. People talk, they remember. The whispers stick around long after the headlines fade. But officially, it was a dead end. The frustration is unreal. You've got the biggest child search in Irish history, soldiers combing bogs, divers in lakes, dogs everywhere. And after all that, the one person hauled in gets let go because the case is thinner than tissue paper. And here's where it stings even more. Every time the guards say, "We're doing everything we can," the families of missing kids know the clock is against them. Evidence rots, memories fade, suspects grow old or die. And that's exactly what happened here. The arrest meant hope for a split second, but when it collapsed, so did public confidence. People started asking, is this incompetence? Or is there something darker like a cover-up? Because cases don't just stall for decades unless someone somewhere wants them stalled. So now, instead of closure, all Donegal got was more suspicion. Theories spread, locals side-eye each other, families split apart. And the official line? Still the same. Mary Boyle vanished, case unsolved, nothing to see here. Which is the worst kind of answer because it's not an answer at all. Now here's where it really hurts, because this case didn't just swallow Mary. It tore her family apart. On one side, you've got Anne Boyle, Mary's twin. She's grown up with this hole in her life and she wants answers. She's been calling for an inquest, pushing the guards, speaking out, basically saying, enough is enough, let's drag the truth out. And you can't really blame her. Imagine being the twin who lived, while the other one vanished into thin air. That shadow follows you forever. But then there's Mary's mom, also named Anne. For her, it's different. She's never stopped hoping, never stopped searching, but she's against an inquest. Maybe it's too painful, maybe she doesn't want the family ripped open again, maybe she still clings to some hope. Either way, mom and daughter are on opposite sides of how to handle Mary's legacy. And then you've got Margot O'Donnell, yes, the singer Daniel O'Donnell's sister. She was close to the family and she's been one of the loudest voices for justice. She even helped raise funds for campaigns and released a song for Mary. When a case turns into music, you know it's haunting people way beyond just the family. But the truth, this divide hasn't helped. It's dragged the case into headlines for all the wrong reasons: family feuds, political whispers, and people pointing fingers in every direction but the right one. So instead of unity, you've got heartbreak on top of heartbreak. A mother who can't move forward, a twin who refuses to stay silent, a community that either knows more than it's saying or has chosen to bury the truth. And Mary, she's still missing, which means everyone's grief is stuck in the same year on the same boggy lane forever. So here's the part that really stings. Mary's twin Anne once said it felt like half her soul went missing the day her sister disappeared. Think about that. She grew up, had birthdays, went to school, lived a life, all while knowing the other half of her childhood was gone forever. Uncle Jerry, the last person to see Mary, passed away in 2023. If he had answers, they're buried with him now. Margot O'Donnell is still out there pushing, still singing Mary's name so people don't forget. And the guards, they keep saying the file's still open, but after nearly 50 years, that feels less like hope and more like a curse. Mary Boyle remains Ireland's youngest missing person. No body, no closure, just whispers of cover-ups, rumors of secrets, and a Donegal hillside that probably knows more than it's telling. And here's the kicker. Every time someone brings up Mary's name, it's not just about a little girl who vanished. It's about how silence from neighbors, from politicians, maybe even from family can be louder than the truth. Nearly half a century later, the country is still waiting, and in Cashellart, that half-mile lane is still there. Same bog, same grass, same silence. Walk it today and you'd never guess it swallowed a child whole. But it did, and the world just moved on.